Graham Potter become the new West Ham manager after Lopetegui's sacking. Graham has been out of work for a whopping 647 days since been leaving Chelsea Football Club. West Ham fans give us a call this morning. Are you happy? Is he the right man for the job? Celtic beat Dundee United 2-0 to open the gap at the top of the SPL to 16 points. Ooh. I'll say that again, Ali, 16 points. And then, despite losing 2-0 to Newcastle in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi, Arsenal racked up a huge 3.09 XG, whatever that means. And former Premier League striker Darren Bent thinks that shows how badly the Gunners need a new striker like a certain Alexander Isak.
I don't think Arsenal were, in terms of their free-flowing best, but they still should have won the game. The amount of chances they had, I mean, even their XG was 3.9. Newcastle was only 1.2. Also, they had 70% possession. You look at the chances that Arsenal missed. Martinelli goes through. Yeah. I still don't know why he's shooting from that far. Keep taking it. They're not going to catch you. Kai Havertz's header. I mean, he's got all the time in the world. He's unchallenged. Timber's header. The Arsenal had the chances there. But
let me ask you this: if you take Isak,
one second. But what I was about to say is that when you look at those chances missed, and then you look up the other end of the pitch for the opposition, that's exactly what you're missing.
I was going to say, if you take Isak out of Newcastle and put him in Arsenal's team, you win that game.
He gets that trick comfortably, wins it.
Gab, do you agree with that?
100%. Wow, I love watching this guy play. My favourite striker to watch in the Premier League.
Isn't he? He doesn't get overexcited.
And it's the first time I've seen Saliba and Gabriel get a run around. He receives the ball. He's got that swagger about him, the way he can move and do a step over and get past someone with a bit of speed. He's got the first touch. He's got the composure. He can score from outside the box. He can score headers out. His all-round game. He's had injury problems since he's been at Newcastle. They seem to be behind him this season, fingers crossed. And if Newcastle get into the Champions League, I'm sure he will stay. It's on a new contract. But if they don't, I'm sure he'll want to go to a Champions League club. But I just love watching him play. And his goal tally this season, 18 games, 13 goals in the Premier League. It's outstanding return.
Arsenal, how much is it going to cost now, though?
Oh,
it's football.
Over
ridiculous.
100. More than 100.
It will be over 100.
More than 100.
And I'm not sure they're going to pay that.
No, more than 100. I don't. 120, I don't even know that the right amount Newcastle want to sell him for, because they brought him for 63 million. So they're going to want at least double their money with the form he's in. I think he's 25, isn't he? 25, 26. There's no chance Newcastle are going to be looking to sell him. But they need to get him a new deal. I think he's got 2.5 years left. Needs to get that up to a 5-year deal, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, 9 days into the January transfer window, some of the names in the rumour mill include PSG's Kolo Muani linked top 6 clubs in the Premier League. Villa, Gabby could be bracing for bids for Duran, but have already sold a player. Big signing for my Ipswich's Philogene leaves the leaves Midlands for Suffolk. For more on this and more, we're joined by talkSPORT's transfer correspondent. A good morning to Ben Jacobs. Ben, morning.
Good morning, Ben.
Good morning.
Ben, Philogene, what sort of player is he?
Yeah, so Jaden Philogen's had an interesting return to Villa. It was short-lived. There was a battle over the summer, including Ipswich and Everton. He picked Villa, and now he's left after a very short period. It's a 20 million guaranteed deal, plus add-ons on top. And the medical is this morning. So off he goes to Ipswich after a very short spell at Aston Villa. High potential and intelligence, but it just didn't work there, did it, Gabby?
It doesn't make sense, man.
Yeah, you know what? I watched him in the Bayern Munich game, and it was a defensive game. He'd done a defensive, outstanding job on the wing. But whenever I watched him then start a game in the league, he just couldn't get past the player. He passed it backwards. You know what I mean? In the Premier League, you want to see exciting players who are like an Elanga, Hudson-Odoi, get the ball, I'm going to get at you every time. He wouldn't do that. I don't know if that's confidence. Aston Villa may be too big of a club for him to play at, but I'm sure there's potential in there to maybe improve at Ipswich.
Ben, what about... Ben, you're still there, right? Sorry, we've got you back.
Yes.
Ben, what about the likes of Arsenal, right? We're talking about Arsenal now. Crying out, a lot of people say crying out for a centre forward. Is there someone out there? Look, Isak's going to be too much money. Is there someone out there that maybe has been linked to the Arsenal if Arteta decides, no, I need a goal scorer?
Yeah, we're not aware of Arsenal in the race for Kolo Muani, which might surprise some Arsenal fans because he's available with a loan with an obligation. There's Evan Ferguson, who will be more economical now compared to 18 months ago, nowhere near 100 million in valuation. But Brighton need to decide if he's available, and Arsenal can't loan him.
But he's not playing, is he? He's not getting a regular game for Brighton, so why would Arsenal buy him?
Well, I think Arsenal's logic is they might go short-term in January and then still add an Isak or a Benjamin Sesko in the summer as well. So if they can find something to take them to the summer and then wait for their main target or somebody that isn't available now but is in the summer. So actually Arsenal might end up signing two, but there's not many short-term targets that can get you goals. And it's Man City that are pushing for Omar Marmoush. And again, Arsenal are not expected to enter that race either.
What about Ben Muani? He's not wanted, is he, at PSG?
I think Spurs are very serious about Muani. We should mention Manchester United, but at the moment they're slightly put off by the loan with obligation. They'd prefer a loan with an option. So we'll have to wait and see whether PSG soften their stance. And then you have Juventus as well, possibly Bayern. But I think the three clubs that I mentioned, including the two from the Premier League, are more likely at this stage. And Tottenham are really serious about Muani. They are prepared to do a loan with an obligation. They value the player at around 40, 45 million. PSG want closer to 55, if not 60 million. There is a feeling that obligation price might drop, or that obligation price might actually be based upon performance-related criteria, which means that if he hits a certain amount of goals, it will be higher. If he scores less goals between now and the end of the season, it will be lower. And if it's on a sliding scale, that's the kind of deal that Daniel Levy might be prepared to do.
Ben, one quick one. Are you hearing anything about Everton? Jose Mourinho's name's been mentioned. Do you think they will make a change?
Yeah, I'm not aware of any approach to Jose Mourinho. Obviously, he knows the freaking group from his time at Roma. It didn't end on the best terms, but they have respect for Mourinho. I think Everton got a bit jittery based on Potter, who's now at West Ham, and they're still assessing Sean Dyche. It's succession planning rather than interviewing at the moment. And we wait and see for mid-season changes being made. I think it's more likely at this stage that it will come at the end of the season when Dyche's contract expires. But if results don't improve, they're going to have to look at somebody. But I really think that their top two choices were Gareth Southgate, who doesn't want to take a job at the moment, and Graham Potter, who's just gone to West Ham. So therefore, they're going to wait a little bit. Mourinho would be a surprise because, like I say, it didn't end brilliantly between the freaking group and Mourinho at Roma.
Nice one, Ben. Thank you.
Ben.
Do you know what, Gab? I think Everton just have to stay up, don't they, this year? Look, if they can have a cup run, fine, but they've got to stay up with the move. The new stadium.
Totally agree.
So they need someone. Now, for me, Davy Moyes has got to be, if they're going to make a change, like I like Sean, but if they're going to make a change, then, Jose is a clever man, don't worry about that. But David knows the club inside out. He will keep them up.
And also, if Sean does lose his job, Sean Dyche, he will get a job straight away.
Yeah.
talkSPORT Breakfast with Alan Brazil. Thursday and Friday morning, 6 till 10. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.